Hello and welcome to the third video in the Excel text functions. I'm Philip Burton of excelinoffice.com, and in this video we're going to have a look at the substitute function. What the substitute function, it replaces any particular text in a string with some other text. So let's take an example of this person's name, Ken J. Sanchez. I want to change any K for a J. So let's see how this can be done. So first of all, equals to open a equation, a formula, and then substitute. I only have to type in the word sub, and you can see it's highlighted the word substitute, and I'll just press the tab button to finish it off. So the cell we're looking at is B7, and we want to get rid of the letter K, and we want to substitute that with the letter J. Now there is an optional fourth argument. You can tell it's optional because of the hard brackets, but I'll just leave that for now. So this takes the original text, B7, gets rid of the letter K and substitutes it at the same time for the letter J. So here we have Jen J. Sanchez. Now what would happen if I then got rid of the letter J and substituted it for the letter K? So if I go for E7, get rid of the J, that's the old text, and insert the letter K, we now have Ken K. Sanchez. So don't think that doing two substitutes will get you necessarily back to the original text. This happened in the 1970s. Somebody was wanting to demonstrate what their new super duper computer could do and replaced all the letter O's with letter P's, and then replaced the letter P's with the letter O's, including all of those that were P's to start with. And there was no undo function back in the 1970s. They didn't have the memory for it. Now a question, what would happen if instead of substituting a capital K, we had a smaller case k? Would we then have Jen with a smaller case j? And the answer is no. The substitute function only works with the correct case. So there is no lowercase k in Ken J. Sanchez, and therefore it substitutes nothing. But the good news about this is that it doesn't create an error. The other good news about it is we can test whether there is a change. So has this string stayed the same? And we can test this by saying equals B7 equals E7. So it says, is this true? B7 equals E7. If it's true, then give me a true. If it's false, so now the string's going to change, give me a false. Now we could put this in an if command. If this happens to be true, then say it has stayed the same. If it happens to be false, it has changed. So you can tell it's now changed. If I get it so it won't change, then it has stayed the same. Look out for my series on logical steps if you're not sure, logical functions if you're not sure what all of this does. Now, at the moment, I'm trying to substitute a string which is just one character for another string which is also one character. And so the length doesn't change. But that's not necessarily going to be the case. I could be substituting a string with several characters for one that is just one. Or alternatively, I could be doing it the other way around. So there's KN. In all of these circumstances, if there is a change, the length has changed. So let's have a look at the length of this string, Ken J. Sanchez. We covered len in the first of these Excel text functions, and if you haven't seen it, why not click subscribe on this video so that you know where to come back to, you know who to click on, and then have a look at the first of this series. So the length of Ken J. Sanchez is 13 characters. The length of this string is much bigger, 16 characters. So we are substituting a string which is 1 character long for one that is 4 characters. So 4 minus 1 is 3, and so it's increased by 3 characters. Similarly, if we went from one that is 3 characters long to one that is 1 character long, then we will lose 2 characters when we get it right, from 13 to 11. If, however, there are no changes, then the length remains the same. Now, there is a fourth optional argument that we can put in, and I'll show this if I change the lowercase n for an uppercase N. So you can see that there are 2 n's in Ken J. Sanchez, and it has substituted both of them. Now, if you just wanted the second one to be substituted, then you can put as the fourth optional argument the number 2, and that will just substitute the second one. If you want just the first one to be substituted, then again you can put in a fourth argument, and in this case it would be the number 1. So there it is substituted the first but not the second. So if you omit it, it will substitute all of them. And we can use what we've got with our len and what we have got with the fact that it substitutes all of the finds that it's done by asking this question: how many spaces are in the name? Okay, let's try and work this one out. So Ken's name has 13 spaces. How can we use this substitute to get a different answer? We could substitute all of the spaces for a blank string. So here we can see these quotation marks, but there is a space in the middle of the quotation marks. And here we can see quotation marks with nothing in it. So we are substituting from B7 a string with a space for nothing at all. Now you can see that Ken J. Sanchez's name has got 2 spaces. Will it substitute the first one, the second one, or both of them? It will substitute both of them. And so if I press enter, you can see that we now have Ken J. Sanchez without any spaces. And you can see that the length of it has gone down to 11. So how can we use what we've seen in this video to calculate how many spaces are in this person's name? So when we get to the next person, we should have 2 spaces. When we get to the next person, we should have 1 space, and so forth down the line. So how can we get the number 2, 2, 1, 2, and so forth? Why not put your answer in the comments to this video? Now, if you like this video, why not subscribe to it and click that bell button, because that will get notifications to your YouTube channel when a new video is posted. And in my videos on Udemy, like for instance Excel in Microsoft Excel 2, which takes you all the way from intermediate to expert, you'll see that I go through functions, but it's only a quarter of what you need to really become an Excel expert. For example, level 7 section 1 is all about pivot tables. Level 9 is all about get and transform data. And you can see a really important topic. And if you want to join me on any of these courses, why not check the description? You'll find a link on there. So post your answer to how you get the number of spaces in the name. Let's see what formula you come up with and see how our answers compare. And I'll see you in the next video.